And welcome to Chart of the Day Cafe for Tuesday, September 5th, 2017. Just want to read our disclaimer quickly. Trading stocks is a high level of risk and viewers should complete their own due diligence on any stock or underlying that they intend to own. 100% of the content of this video and communique is intended for journalistic and educational purposes only. This video and all indicators, strategies, and articles herein should not be construed as investment advice, not making any recommendations, always for your further homework. Good morning, Sue here. Hope you had a great long weekend, and boy did that summer ever go by quickly, eh? Anyway, here we are with our first Tuesday video for the month of September, so with that, let's get right into it. I always start these videos off with a look at the Russell Index. I always want to make sure that before I put any new names forward for my watch list, I'm putting them forward in a rising market environment. And for that, I refer to the Russell Index. Specifically, I use the IWM, which is the ETF that represents the Russell 2000. And I like to step back to take a look at it on a 5-year monthly time frame to get that bigger picture look. I've been really paying attention to this wedge pattern that the Russell's been trading in since the beginning of the year. So I've got three levels of support on this chart. The blue is long-term resistance support, which I'm kind of ignoring for now. The orange is medium term and the purple is short term. So really just kind of concerning myself with this area in here right now. So you can see this wedge that the Russell's been trading in since the beginning of the year. We've got these candles January, February, March, April, May, June. July had a doji up here at resistance. August was a big red candle until the last couple of weeks when price regained our short-term area of support in here. And here's where we're starting for the month of September. So I like to get that big picture look. Worth noting the long wick for the month of August. So I'm going to move it away from the monthly to the 1-year weekly so we can better see how price has been behaving. So same lines, long-term, medium-term, and short-term support resistance. These are just my rough lines. You can see that we lost that purple area back here, but in the last couple of weeks, the Russell is trying to regain that area of support. Will it? Who knows? I'm filming this at about 8 o'clock on Tuesday morning. The futures are off this morning. However, the Russell seems to be kind of hanging in there a little bit, kind of flat to even. So we'll see if this week brings us up and over this purple line. It's a big question mark, but just to get that reference, this is where we are. I'm going to move it away from the weekly to the 6-month daily. Worth noting that the Russell's been up 7 days in a row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's a little extended in price, and we are at that purple line of short-term support resistance. So we're going to be watching this area closely. For those of you that know these videos, you know that I use this blue 8-day EMA as my guide. When price on the Russell is up and over that blue 8-day EMA, I am putting new charts forward for my watch list, so you can see that it's up and over the 8-day, so I'll add a new name this morning. And the new name we're adding to our watch list this morning is Nanometrics Incorporated, ticker symbol NANO, trades on the NASDAQ exchange. It's in the electronic semiconductor equipment space. Very cool company, incorporated in 1975. They're a provider of advanced high-performance process control metrology systems. They're involved in helping out the oil and gas industry and several other industries. I'll include a short little clip that I found on the internet about what they do. Very cool. You know what, Chart of the Day Cafe? It is all about value and growth, and NANO has a very nice high value score and a forecasted earnings growth rate going forward of 27%. Current PE of 16.42. I like to get a dividend. This one does not pay a dividend. It's not in there. It's not a must like value and growth, but I think this is a very cool company to keep track of, so I'm including it on my watch list. So we're looking at the 5-year monthly chart. You can see on the 5-year it kind of consolidated down here and then moved up and over my orange line of support and resistance. It's trading in this area and kind of bouncing around my orange line. We're looking at the monthly chart, but should the markets regain some strength and move higher, I think this company may lift off this area and continue on its way. I'm going to move it away from the 5-year monthly to the 1-year weekly so you can better see. Trading in what I see is a little bit of a wedge here. And volume started to pick up last week in my area of support. I'd be looking for a break out of my wedge and into this area. I'm going to move it away from the weekly to the 6-month daily. I just wanted you to see that wedge. We are currently up and over the 8-day EMA, and we do have a 3 and 8 cross. So it looks as though it's moving out of my wedge. Volume seems to be picking up a little bit. I'm going to keep an eye on this one and see if we can get some lift in this area. But I like nanotechnology. The scores are Nanometrics, I should say. The scores are where I want them, and I love the look of this chart. I always like to take a look at the sector that my new watch list pick is in, and for that we're looking at PSI, which is the PowerShares Dynamic Semiconductor Fund. We're looking at the 5-year monthly chart. You can see on the 5-year beautiful uptrend in this area, never been higher. This is the monthly. Let's go take a look at the weekly. So in the 1-year weekly, it had a pretty strong week last week. So price strength resumed. Like to see that. I also like to look at seasonality, and for that I go to equityclock.com, talk about this site all the time. I think it's awesome. Here is the seasonal chart for Nanometrics. You can see that in September it has a little bit of softness, but for the most part the back half of the year is pretty strong. No guarantee that happens this year, but always nice to know. I also like to go to FinViz to see if I've got analyst support from my new watch list pick, and you can see that Nanometrics had a recent upgrade. There are also lots of positive articles below that you can take a look at. And so to summarize, let's go back and check the boxes. We started today's video with a look at the Russell Index, and we note that it's in an uptrend overall. Having said that, it's trading in that great big wedge where price has oscillated since the beginning of the year, kind of back and forth. But currently, price on the Russell is up and over the 8-day EMA. We looked at the sector that Nano is in, PSI. We can see that it's in a strong uptrend on the 5-year chart. We looked at the 5-year chart for Nano, and we note that it consolidated for a while, but it moved up and over our orange line of support and resistance. It is currently sitting in that area, and should price strength continue in the markets overall with these scores, it would make sense to me that Nano may see some lift in this area. It's got a great value score. It's got a great growth score with a forecasted earnings growth rate of 27%. Does not pay a dividend, so that's not checked. It does have a 3 and 8 EMA cross, which I look for. I know everyone has their own way of doing things, but that's what I look for. We looked at the seasonal chart. We can see that seasonality is coming soon, so I've got that checked. It's got analyst support. We went to FinViz and took a look, and it's also a Zacks #2 buy-rated stock, current PE of 16.42. Thanks very much for watching today's video, and as a reminder, these videos go out every Tuesday and Thursday morning. Having said that, I'll be traveling this Thursday, so I will not be putting out a video. But be sure to check out our videos from last week. LPX had a very strong move off our area. iRobot still looks good to me, and Suncor, which we put out a while ago, still has the value and growth scores I look for, and is moved higher, but looks to be settling in an area that might be interesting as well. With that, I'll leave you. Have a good next week, and we'll put our next video out next Tuesday. Thanks again.